Rape is a crime and an act of violence. It's one of power and control over another person.
It can occur anywhere, the beach, in a car, at your home. There's just no place that you have to be particularly more careful.
So even though you have a neighborhood and neighbors and you have a feeling of safety around you and you think of your home as being a safe haven, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have that safety. It's pretty much of an illusion. In this very room where I'm speaking to you, I awakened one morning not being able to breathe because someone had their hand over my mouth. And I was raped.
1 out of 3 women will be sexually assaulted at least once in their lifetime.
We've examined girls as young as 3 months old. We've examined women as old as 92 years old.
Out of those that are raped, only 1 out of 10 report this crime.
After the man that attacked me left that morning, I was convinced that I wasn't going to report.
The most important thing that I would like the survivor to understand is that she is believed and that the event that has taken place has nothing to do with her as a person. It is not by any means her fault.
I knew that I wanted my children here to help me make the decision. They both talked to me about how I'd have to report it. There'd be no way that I could not.
After a woman calls the police department and reports this crime, in a traditional setting, they will be escorted by the police department to respond to a local emergency department, where they go up to the main desk and tell the receptionist what happened to them, and then they have to wait in the waiting room for their turn to be seen by the ER physician.
If I'd been required to sit in the emergency room as a regular patient in the condition that I was in that morning, I know that I would not have been able to stay there. I would have had to leave.
Here in Long Beach, we've tried to change all that. We've removed the examinations from the emergency department into a private setting that's confidential, peaceful, away from the hustle and bustle of the emergency department. We've established a specialized team called the Sexual Assault Response Team.
There was a woman in the room, and she walked over to me and said, "I'm here for you." I just was so shocked by the fact that someone was there just for me.
We know that every time the woman sits and talks about what happened and the details of the crime and the details of the shame and humiliation, for her it's like being back there at the scene of the crime, going through the rape all over again. And it's re-traumatizing each time she has to tell the story. So we all sit together and let her tell the story once.
When it was time for the actual examination to begin, I was introduced to the forensic nurse.
Collecting the forensic evidence is a key part in the investigation and prosecution of this crime. We only have a 72-hour window in which to collect evidence.
My ultimate goal is to get enough information about what happened to her that I know more than the perpetrator or the suspect might know, so he can't lie to me when I talk to him. My goal there is to get a confession.
Most people plead guilty based on the evidence that we're able to present to them in court. So the medical evidence is a crucial component of the SART, and it's one that we are very pleased to see has been excellent throughout the entire SART process.
The only evidence that could put him away was the evidence that would come from his actual victims. And had they not had the courage to come forth, he'd have gone free to keep doing this damage to people.
The bottom line is that of the victims who have gone through the process, the cases have been filed, it's resulted in a 97% conviction rate for those cases.
When the jury came back with their verdict, this man was guilty. He was found guilty on every single one of those 21 counts in the first degree. It was wonderful news. I want women to know a few things that I know now. I want them to know how important it is to resist the temptation to join in a conspiracy with these men who perpetrate this kind of crime on us. Please don't join them by being silent.